Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Pause the video right now to check out my social media, my radio show, and thatdrummerguy.com. And most of all, enjoy the following presentation.
Hey, this is Helmuth from Belphegor speaking.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm a little bit too late, because fucking interviews, so...
Well, not a problem. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Is it from the USA or is it from Canada?
USA, in Minnesota.
Minnesota, great. Uh-huh.
Well, awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album from Belphegor, Totenritual, which comes out the 15th of September through Nuclear Blast. I just got the chance to be able to check out the full album yesterday and been cranking it ever since, and I gotta say, without question, this just may be my favorite Belphegor album to date.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really love what you guys are doing around this time. I mean, like, the heavy parts are just even heavier, the more evil aspects are even more evil, and the catchier moments, especially with the guitar riffs that are going on with the choruses, are even that much catchier. I mean, there's so much to grasp onto you.
Mm-hmm. That was the master plan.
So what went into the process for making the new album?
The process, it's like always, you decide to make a new project, and then you start it, and you work on it, you compose the songs, you record riffs here and there, and we meet in the rehearsal room. Also, we are not a band like send tapes around and shit, we are not a computer band. We do everything, like in the rehearsal room, rehearse for 2 weeks, 2 week sessions, and that's important in my opinion, then it don't sound like plastic and everything. And the plan was that we make our most heavy and brutal album with a very ritualistic vibe, and that's what we achieved, I guess. Everything sounds exactly as we wanted to.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really noticed was more of the down-tuning of the guitars as well, to really fill out that low end and make everything feel that much more brutal. Was that something that you had the intention of doing, or did it just sound better when you were writing the songs to tune it down?
No, it was my intention, I hate stagnation, I always want to change and try new things. I'm always very open-minded when it came to this stuff, We tune our guitars down since a long time, always like in the Hertz area, like small steps, but this time we tuned it down even lower and everything, and sure, we get a new low end down and everything sounds more obscure, and it's perfect, because we wanted to have this ritualistic vibe with this low end sound, and so it opened for me a new guitar world, and I think for the whole band it sounds really organic and fresh and everything, and so it was the right decision to try new things. It's always good, I hate to stuck to formulas and shit, do every time the same boring shit. It's disgusting, I think as artists, you have to develop, try new things and be open-minded to a lot of things. And I don't say that we don't sound like Belphegor anymore. It's still Belphegor with all our trademarks, but as I'm saying, it opened a new world, this low-end tuning. It's great. I also like it on stage. It's like really evil and everything, and it has a lot of power, and it sounds way heavy in my opinion. So it's perfect how we wanted to sound in 2017,
Yeah, I think that's a great way to describe it, and I was just about to mention that too. I mean, there are aspects of the previous Belphegor sound, but, it sounds like Belphegor in 2017 with that new direction, a new, fresher sound, and it just sounds very inspired this time around as well. I mean, I could definitely tell that the songwriting was more enjoyable this time around, because all the songs just have that great inspiration behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we worked everything out as 3 pieces, we have the best drummer in the lineup that we ever had since the beginning of the band. It also made a big difference, because he played a very technical style. He added like 100 millions of really small details, and it was just great to work with him, He's like a really talented guy from Germany. He's really young and he's like excited. Everything is new to him, so it's always good to have fresh blood, and never stuck to formulas. So we tried a lot of new stuff with him. He brought a lot of ideas, when it came to drumming. And that's why it sounds fresh in my opinion. And also the guitar tuning and everything, and we also, the bass player and me, like Serpent, was also very inspired because we saw this guy, and oh fuck, he's fast and everything. So we have to practice also way more for this project, and that's what we did, and we really rehearsed a lot. Each project what we start, lasts longer and longer, and more intense, and there are a lot of sacrifice along the way, and everything. And we did a lot 2-week sessions, where we really rehearsed 2 weeks in a row, each day 2-3 sessions, That's important to rehearse as band, and that was really different this time. It was a pleasure, and everything was really on fire, and all tried to reach a new step of extremities with this album, and I think we achieved that.
Yeah, without question.
Sometimes you can do it, and sometimes not.
Oh, very much so. I mean, I'm definitely hearing that. Even though I'm still pretty new to the album, just right around 24 hours of having the album, I've just been constantly listening to it and just like really delving into what's going on, just like trying to catch all the different aspects, whether it's lyrically, musically, the down tuning of the guitars to make everything that much more brutal and everything. And I'm really glad to see the direction that you guys have gone in as well. And it's great to see all the preparation that went into it before, having a couple weeks of rehearsing before you get into the studio and record. Did the songs change much at all from when you were rehearsing beforehand, or was everything lined up before you went into the studio?
It's like always, it's like 80-90% are always like composed and everything. But then we always let a little bit space in the studio, make some experiences in there and smalls here and there, and where we say, okay, let's change this and that. That's why we don't rehearse, why we don't go in the studio and say, okay, we track the album in 6 weeks. We don't do this. We start with bass, with drums, then we listen to it half year, something like that. Okay, then we go to the next step or change something. If you are not totally 100% into it, then we say, okay, let's try this bass part again or this drum part. Then we start with the guitar, same process, written guitars. We listen to it a long time. If we find after a half year the sound not as good as it should be, and so that's why we needed this time, like 3.5 years, So, but you get the best result out of it, and I think that's the best as artists, They always try to give 1,000%. And on this album, we really crossed all these borders, and we could realize everything what we wanted to, It's like always with each album, sometimes you fail, and it's not like you wanted to have it, and sometimes you achieve, and develop a span, and this time it's really like it feels good that everything is okay. We did great performances, and I'm really proud on this album, we all gave so much sacrifices, and we practiced a lot, and it feels great, I cannot wait till we can release this monster. It's really intense and dynamic, and you don't hear albums like that nowadays anymore. It's a perfect mix of extreme music.
Yeah, I cannot agree more with that. And yeah, that was just like I was talking about before, where I could really hear the inspiration from everyone in the band, and that's what always makes for the best albums, whether it's myself enjoying an album or being able to talk to the bands about the albums, when you can tell that the band is really inspired by what they're writing, and the writing process goes good, and everything just starts to hit on all the right cylinders. It just makes for a better album, and you can be that much happier with it when you go out and are able to promote it with press, like talking to me, or doing the live rituals, which I know will be coming up soon throughout the album cycle.
Sure, yeah, totally agree.
So, you have been able to release a couple songs so far from the album. What has been the reception to them so far?
It's great. It's like, I think people dig it, It's like always, it's very important, but at the end, we try to please ourselves first, So we do what we want and what we think is great for us first. Then if people like it and everything, it's of course highly appreciated and everything, but there's like always, there are also some people, who get offended or hate it. It's also fine by me, but at the end I'm here for the people that stay loyal on our side, and support the band and get the CDs and everything, and attend the shows. That's the people I care. I don't care about other people, who don't like it, all this thing, It's their loss, it's not mine loss. But I think the feedback is really amazing, so, like, it's great, so if it's not amazing, I also don't give a shit, but the feedback is really great, so, yeah. Everything is great at the moment.
Yeah, and that's what's important. I mean, it's great to know that other people will hopefully go out and enjoy the music that you're creating, but you also got to be happy with the music that you're making yourself. Otherwise, there's no point in making music anymore if you're not behind what you're making.
That's the way it is, and that's the reason why we are here like 24 years now. So if I wouldn't be totally into it and I wouldn't be excited about it and passionate and all this stuff, I would have quit a long time ago. And we always stayed very hermetical against everything, you know. We always walked our own path and did decisions by for our own band. We never had managers and all this fancy shit, you know. That's just like Belphegor is like pure, you know. It's like the band decides what we do and that's how we roll, you know. That's very important and seldom nowadays. But that makes us kind of outstanding, I guess. What is also very important.
And somewhat related, with the new direction that the new album brings, when you are able to perform these live, are you going to be bringing extra guitars into the set, or are the other songs going to be down-tuned as well?
Not really. First, I have to say it's not the new direction, you know. It's like the typical Belphegor signature sound. We just added in a lot new elements, and we have the strongest lineup in the band, and that's the reason why we developed. But I don't see it as a new direction, you know. Like, but no, we do this since a long time now, you know. First we tuned the guitar a little bit down, of course, but we also play the older song and don't work in, for example, like 5 or 6 half tones slower, you know. So we cannot bring always on the flat shows like 6, 7 guitars, you know, like other bands do. It's nonsense to me, you know. And we play with a drop pedal, you know. You step on it and then you can, and then the guitar goes automatically down in half step. So that's a very good invention. I was waiting on this shit like 20 years now, but it starts now. And sure, it doesn't sound exactly like you have a down-tuned guitar, but it's great, you know. I think you don't hear the difference that much, so I can live with it. And it sounds really amazing. So we use this pedal since 2 years already, so it's great.
Yeah, and that's definitely a much better way of trying to say what I was trying to say. I just meant more with the more down tuning, if that was going to affect the live experience at all or not. But it's cool to see that everything does get up through the technology and being able to have everything under control like that.
We always have everything under control.
Yeah,
it's important in Germany, you know. It's just like we have to be under control, like in the old days, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, very much so. With all this in mind, with of course being able to promote the new album in the live presence, have you decided what songs are going to be featured for upcoming appearances?
You mean for the live set list or what?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. We play the song Totenritual since 2015. Then we added, of course, now Baphomet. We played it now 5 times. And it's like, wow, it's like just like a fucking thing rolls over you, a fucking German band, so think, you know, it's really, it sounds amazing. Then we also will add, of course, The Devil's Son and Swain Fever. I think that's enough. This is like 4 songs, so yeah. We also have to take care on the old material, you know. People also want to hear the old stuff, you know. This is our 11th LP. It's not so easy, and we cannot play 2 hours, you know. It's like, you can imagine our set list is really like fucking sport, you know. When we play 1 hour, it's like really exhausting. We will play some anchors and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
But these 4 songs, yeah, we added to the set list.
Yeah, and that's a great approach to have it too, because you want to be able to represent the new album, but you don't want to just focus on that. You want to be able to make sure that other songs from the past 24 years are also getting covered as well, to just get that nice balance of old and new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always, you know, in the live situation, we always that we play the faster stuff, you know. I don't want to end as a slow band or what the fuck ever. So we always play a lot fast songs, you know, and here and there we play some slower songs, but not that much, you know. It's for me important because I don't want to end up with playing, I don't know, 1 hour and play only 3 or 4 riffs, you know. This is never what we intended to be, you know, because our stuff is really technical, and it's important for me, you know, that I want to really be excited when I go on stage and not like, oh, fuck, this is again 3 riffs, you know, it's so boring, I can play it when I sleep and all this shit, you know. That for me it was important and a challenge, you know, to make the vocals, then play the guitar and everything, and yeah, so stay focused, you know, practice a lot, and That's it.
And speaking of that, what are the current plans for Belphegor going forward for promotion of the new album?
We start in Europe after the release of the LP. In September, October, we tour Europe. And in November, December, we want to return to North America, 30 days. And it's now, we really adore it to play North America. This is our 11th tour, 11th LP, you see. But we really dig it to play in the USA, it's just great. It's like for us a second home. It's one of the greatest markets. We love the metal community in the USA. It's always a pleasure to play there. So, and yeah, we want to do that in November and December. So keep eyes open, we will announce the date soon,
Oh, very cool. I'm definitely hoping it's going to be in the Minnesota area where there's a date, but if there's not, I hope it'll be within driving distance, because I would love to be able to see how everything is being represented this time around as far as the brand new songs and what songs are going to be incorporated with them from the past.
Yeah, sure, man. Prepared. It'll be brutal. Fucking evil.
Oh, very much so. And speaking of that, with, of course, a lot of controversy coming in over the band over the last couple of years, and so, how much has that hindered you at all for where you want to go? I know some places you have been banned from being able to perform, but has that hindered you at all from wanting to tour anywhere else in the world, or does that make you want to keep going?
We keep going. We do everywhere, we played like China, we played India, we played Philippines, we played Russia, we played, I don't know, Ukraine, like Ukraine is really dangerous. There was war and everything, and we play everywhere where people want to see us, because I love to play new territories with the band and everything, like we did in India, and it's like, in India, it was Indonesia, but it's just great, because it's a totally different mentality, That's what I'm saying. But on the other hand, I, of course, always love to march into North America, because North America is really something special to the band, If I say to my guys, hey, guys, book a North American tour, and they go on the roof, it's like, fuck, man, I'm gonna go back. It's really great, also like Europe, also Latin America is like unbelievable, People are very loyal there, and really know how to celebrate a brutal, extreme metal ritual. So we keep on going, If we cannot play there, if it's not allowed, we get banned or what the fuck ever, okay, we can do it, but it's only a few cities here and there, so but live shows are the most important stuff in Belphegor. It's the essence of Belphegor. We adore to play live and bring our chaos sound to the people and fire our tracks, with most brutality in the horde. So that's amazing. One of the best things in life.
Oh, very much so.
Besides sex and food.
Oh, exactly. And speaking of that, with being able to travel all over the world and being able to perform for so many people, when you do different tours, hitting different areas of the world, do you feel that you need to change the set at all to for songs that go over better in other places, or do you stick to a typical set?
Fuck this shit. We don't change anything, man. It's Belphegor, but they get what they deserve, It doesn't matter if I play in China, I don't know, in India or in North America or Europe. We don't change anything, man. We are not prostitutes, It's like, if we give them 100% Belphegor, so they get the set in India, they get the same set what they get in Europe, like North America. Why should they change anything? It's stupid, It has nothing to do with art.
Yeah, and that is so refreshing to hear, because I hear that all the time where people feel like one song goes over better somewhere else, so they have to change it. But with Belphegor, you stick to the same set. You want to give everyone the same songs throughout that tour or throughout the touring cycle, and just be able to give that same full experience all over the world.
Yeah, when it comes to these things, we're a little bit egoistical, because first we please ourselves, like we always do, We go for the songs that we really dig, and if people like it, it's great, If people don't like it, okay, we like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that always was the rule in the band, It's like, please ourselves first. If people like it, it's appreciate it, it's great, but please everyone, right?
Exactly. That's why you got to do it for yourself and for everyone else in the band as well. And that's why I'm so happy to see, with everything that was going on with the brand new album Totenritual, which comes out September 15th through Nuclear Blast. I love what you're doing, and I'm glad that you didn't have me or the rest of the fan base in mind. You just had yourselves to wanting to make the best music that you wanted to make for what you're doing right now in 2017. And it's great to know, as someone that's able to promote, someone that enjoyed the music before I started doing this, that I can still enjoy the music that you guys do, and it just sounds so refreshed, it sounds so inspired, and I can tell when it comes to the live rituals that you guys are going to be doing for upcoming touring, I know it's going to go over great, at least musically, if not everything else that comes along with it.
All right, man. Thanks for appreciation.
Oh, not a problem. Well, I'll cut this a little short. I know it's been a long press day and everything. I appreciate you taking the time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on with Belphegor. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you would like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Just ask me, I don't know. This is my 5th or 6th interview today, and I also did a lot mailers the last 2 weeks. I'm a little bit burnt out, but I can answer, and the only thing what I can say is, I hope people like the album as we do, and understand what we did with this album, and understand our legacy and respect it. If they don't respect it, it's not my loss.